Hey, what's up? Welcome. You're listening to TCDG Radio Season 4, Episode 1. I am TCDG, broadcasting directly from Tijuana, Baja California. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to have a great time. We're going to kick off the season interviewing a very, very special guest. His name is Norberto Hernandez, aka Norbies. He is the man behind the lens on some of the most relevant Raza podcasts, such as Rhodium Radio and Marvelous Minds. And he's also, of course, the host of his own podcast, such as News with Norbies, Run the Fade, and his most recent podcast, Norbies Worldwide Activities. Norbies does not shy away from controversy. He loves to play devil's advocate, and the topics he mainly touches on his podcasts are current events, righteousness, and of course, cultura. How are you doing today, Norbies? I am so excited that you're here with me today. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm great. Wow, thank you for that intro. I really appreciate that. It's interesting when you hear somebody describe you and you're like, "Wow, I really did all that." Okay, yeah, okay. I guess I did. Wow. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't really get I don't really get the time to really look back and see, things that I've been doing and to hear you say them like that, it really humbles me and I really appreciate how you just said all that. So thank you.
Oh no, of course, Norbies. And just to keep it honest with the audience, this is the second time that we're doing the intro, guys, and I'm so happy that we're doing it again. You know why? Because I'm so happy that Norby gets to hear again that all those amazing things about himself because they really are true. And as I mentioned to him, at the end of the episode, which you guys are gonna hear at the end, it's very nice to have him here because we get to hear who he is and besides just knowing him as the guy behind the lens, now we're gonna get to talk to him and get to know him, and what makes him tick. So, again, Norbies, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Norbies. So, when did you first start getting into podcasting? What year? What situation was that?
By 2019, I was listening to a lot of podcasts. And I ran across one podcast that was audio. And I think I only and this person I followed because her name is Sammy Joe the Fox, and she was on Be Real TV. I don't know if you're familiar with Be Real TV.
Yes, I am. Yes. Uh huh. Cypress Hill,
And
those guys. Yeah.
Cypress Hill, Be Real, and for the most part, before they were just on YouTube, Be Real actually had his own like website with his content on the website.
Oh, okay.
And this was before he even got on YouTube. He actually started his own, in a sense, his own YouTube, but it was a B Real TV.
Oh, okay.
And so you could go to his website, and I think he was the one that I found after Joe Rogan because when I was looking for somebody that was more, related to my culture and my and who I am, it was B Real. So
Yeah.
when I went on his page, I would watch his content of his podcast that he was doing on his own website. But what I appreciated about him is that he had other people on there. He had other I guess personalities, if you may, that did their own shows. He let them produce their own shows in his studio where he did his podcast. And it was I thought that was great. I thought that was pretty cool that somebody like Be Real would donate his studio, his equipment, to let other people, flourish in this podcast world. Because I think he had a he had a he had a real good feeling knowing that this podcasting was going to jump. Because it's funny because I asked him when I met him at Tony A's, I told him that I told B-Roll, hey, who was the first podcaster, you or Joe Rogan? And he told me it was him. For the most part, I believe that it was true because most people don't realize that Joe Rogan started off in YouTube, but
Mm.
B Real started on his own website doing his podcasts.
Oh, like live streaming in his own website.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Got
he
it.
was doing that on his own website. So I watched a lot of his content and personalities that he put on, and one of them stuck out to me a lot was her name was Sammy Joe the Fox,
Hmm.
and she was one of the personalities that had her own show. I think her show was called Tits and Tacos. She did it with a DJ, a friend of hers, and at a certain point, I started following her on Instagram, and I think the website for Be Real TV, I think he stopped doing it because he just jumped into YouTube. So he didn't really need to have that website going. And then he could just be on YouTube for the most part.
Mm,
So a lot of the shows stopped running. So I was curious, what was like what happened to this personality named Sammy Joe, because she would always talk about like people's stories, like actual people. Like aside from she would interview rappers, she tend to interview regular people, and that always stuck out to me because and like in this podcast world now,
hmm.
you can't get interviewed unless you're a somebody,
Right.
and
They make
I
it hard. They make it hard to give you an interview. That's
yeah they,
definitely yeah.
yeah they do, and I never really liked that. I never really liked that. Especially that they say that if you're a nobody, I'm not gonna interview you. And for the most part, I always appreciated that part that this personality Sammy Joe, she would interview regular folk and even and independent artists. And that one always stuck out. I followed her on Instagram, and I found out that she made her own. She ended up starting her own podcast, which was Sammy Joe the Fox podcast. Oh, I'm sorry, no, the Homegirl Fox podcast.
Oh, cool.
So it was audio based for the most part.
Oh,
So
okay.
I started listening to her podcast, and for the most part, it was good. It was good material. She would interview a lot of cool people, a lot of interesting people, and like I always say, everybody has a story, and she was a type of person that knew how to bring it out.
So she inspired you the way she was running her show.
Yeah, yeah, she was, and but then I noticed that at a certain point, her audio was shit. Like it was bad. I was like, and not her interviews, but the audio, the actual audio.
Like the production behind the audio?
Yes,
Okay, okay.
yes. So I messaged her and I told her like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, your audio was good and was cool, and now it just sounds horrible. I could barely understand what you guys are talking about." And she had told me that she couldn't afford to pay her audio guy because I guess she had an audio guy to work on her audio.
Hmm.
And I told her, oh wow, that sucks. And I asked her like, how much did you have to pay for that? And she told me like for one podcast, you would have to pay $250 to the person
Oh, snappers?
to do the audio. I
Hmm.
was like, damn, like that. I was like, oh shit, that is expensive.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, well, you know what? Dang, I wish I could help. And then I mean, me thinking saying I wish I could help. And then, I've always been like a computer guy, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So I realized at the point of time where we are now that all these things that used to be analog are now digital.
Mm.
And there's a lot of things on the internet that like could help you like do your own audio, you know. A lot of things have become a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
So I did my own research to see how I could help her out. And and lucky enough, I found a software that could she could just put the audio she recorded in there, and it fixes all the audio.
Oh,
Like it
wow.
cleans it all up, and it was for free.
Oh, so you hooked her up with the right, I guess you can say kind of connect to there with the right program connect.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing is that I had to teach her how to use it. So I told her, let's meet up, and I'll show you how to use it because she wasn't too computer savvy. Because at a certain point, you do need to know certain things about programs to run it also.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
so I taught her how to use it, and thankfully she used it, and she would ask for my advice as far as for her show, and I was happy to help, because I liked the stories that she was doing. She was interviewing like I said, regular people. But for me, regular people are the most interesting because they have real life experiences.
Yeah, definitely.
Like at certain points, celebrities don't have real life experiences. They just have a lifestyle.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, 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 yeah.
and the people she was interviewing were like real people with real stories. So I appreciated that about her podcast. And I think at a certain point I told her, you know what, I asked her, why don't you just do visuals? You should do YouTube. You should be on Twitch. Where all these people are starting off right now. You know, and she told me she would love to, but she doesn't have nothing to do that with. And for me, and this is me thinking at that time, oh, it's simple. With all you need is just a camera and just go online and just do it. But
Easier said than done, right?
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Easier said than done. It made me realize, oh, well, yeah, you know what? Okay. So I started to research, okay, let's see how difficult it really is to, run a show or go produce one.
Yeah.
So I did the research and I saw like, oh shit, you really do need a lot of things to like produce a show, like using software like OBS and using audio interface and connected the mics and headphones and all this cause computer programming. Like you have to know how to you even have to know a little bit of computer networking.
Mm.
So I realized, oh, she couldn't do this on her own.
Right, 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 right.
Because she didn't have the enough knowledge as far as for computers to like figure it out. Even me, it took me a several weeks to get it all down and to figure out how to start it all. It was just a big. It was like a 5,000. No, I'm not exaggerating. It's like a 200-piece puzzle that you have to put all together so it could work.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to figure out, and I told her, okay, well, you know what? And once I figured it out, I did tell her, let me help you. Let me produce it for you and do the visuals and put you out there. And she agreed, and we started doing like a podcast with visuals on YouTube and on Twitch. She even had a few other friends that jumped on it, like a radio station. There was a radio station.
Mhm.
Um, Dang, I already forgot the name of the radio station. Well, it was a local Boyle Heights radio station that man, I really hate that I forgot the name of that show. But anyways, I produced that show also with them. That so aside from that, I ended up producing a radio show also.
Wow.
That was on like a public radio station, but I thought, wow, that was cool. I've never done that before, so okay.
Yeah.
And there's another podcast I think by the name of Street Scholars. I produced like two of their episodes,
Mm.
and we just started doing it. And then eventually that's where I met Tony A. I actually met Tony A with her because we did an interview with him.
Mm. Okay.
And well, I mean, for the most part, I worked for her for about a year, maybe a little bit more. I still talk to her family, and but we pretty much just went separate ways. So
Okay.
once we went separate ways, I reached out to Tony to see if he needed any help on his podcast.
Mhm. And what made you reach out to Tony? Or like you guys just got along that day, or like, or
For the most part,
you just
yeah.
took your shot?
No, we got along that day, and then he had a lot of things going on, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. His history when I learned about, and mind you, again, I didn't even know too much of Tony's history, but once I found out his history, I was like, damn, bro, you were a lot behind the scenes. I mean, he has the pictures, he has the albums, he had the tracks to like
Yeah.
show like, wow, he really
A
has.
legend. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a presence back then, and he still does.
Yeah.
So once that happened, I started working with him, doing little just doing some BTS stuff and taking pictures and hanging out there. I was still putting in some work for him, and sometimes when Alex, the other guy that produces the show,
Mhm.
he couldn't produce it. I stepped in and produced it. And after that, from there, I actually with Tony, I met Marvelous,
Okay.
and with Marvelous, that's me and him started talking because I really enjoyed like the things he was talking about as far as culture, history, And for me, I'm a big fan of history.
Oh,
So
okay.
him talking about it from a different perspective, it blew my mind. And not only that, but for the fact that he loves the culture and the indigenous side of it so much, that really made an impact on me because I hadn't I never really met anyone like him
Uh
for
huh.
the most part that knew so much that was willing to say, well, if you don't believe me, check it out yourself, disprove me. I got, if you could disprove me, good, I learned something. He's very open-minded as far as being challenged. But after him, that's when I just ended up creating with the hip hop Jedi, creating the page for Run the Fade. And then with that YouTube channel, that one I took with the Jedi, something just like for me, because I after working with so many podcasters, for me it was a good idea. And then the Hip Hop Jedi also, which he's half had a half producer over there. We worked together to make that channel happen, because I did want a channel that was for, like, that represented regular folk. You know,
Yeah.
like that channel, I made it specifically so, to leave it open so anybody that's just a regular person that wants to be on the platform to talk.
So when you say that other podcasters or that they're like, oh, you had to be somebody to get an interview, were
Yeah.
you at any point like I guess you can say like discouraged, not discouraged. Were you like did somebody ever like were you like disappointed? That's the word I'm looking for. Disappointed. Were you like disappointed like, oh damn, you know what? I thought that person might have been different just because we don't really know them personally, but maybe when you heard them saying, "Oh, you're a nobody," did you get like did you go through those kind of experiences at any point or?
For the most part, I always kept it respectful. I'm like, what is their platform? They can do whatever they want. They want, well, nobody, then that's cool. That I'm not gonna tell them, hey, you shouldn't do that. For the most part, I tend not to tell people, how to run their channel, or if that's how they run it, then that's how they run it. But that's why I created with the Jedi, I created the run the feed, and Norby's worldwide activities, and also now news with Norby's. For the most part, I wanted that platform to be for everyone and anyone and everyone, because you'll never catch me saying, well, I don't know who that person is, and I don't think anybody cares, so I don't want to talk to them. For me, I want to talk to them. I want to hear their story. I want to see what they're all about.
That's beautiful because I mean like you said, everybody has the right to run their podcast whatever way they want to run it. It's their business.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, as an audience, we kind of have this image about whoever, right? These people that run their podcast, and maybe we're putting them on a pedestal, or we're hoping that they're like this amazing person. But
Yes.
sometimes we're like, sometimes it's just sometimes the most common, like you're saying, like the most common folk just are more open or to have those kind of people on there, which is like you would expect them to have that kind of heart in a way, you know what I mean? But I guess it's up
Hmm.
to the rest to the rest of us to make it happen if they're not trying to make it happen, if they're safeguarding their status or whatever they're doing, which is great. We understand. I mean I understand, they've worked so hard so many years. It just seems like as an audience, the fans, I'm pretty sure, I mean I don't know what kind of fans, but the majority of the
Yeah.
fans, they're thinking that this person is a great person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
that's that's pretty much what I'm trying to get at. Like, eh, I would be disappointed if I sound like, oh, I thought that guy was cool. Never mind. Not that I hate him or that I'm not gonna like him, but it's just like, oh wow, it gives you like it opens your eyes to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
To
Definitely.
right, like yeah, like oh, you know what? they're just regular people and they have their ego and there's nothing so like great, I guess you can say about that, about them doing that, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, for the most part, yeah. That's exactly how I see it also. You know. But again, that's why I said that's why with me and the Jedi made that channel. So, and I really need to put more attention to it, to be quite honest. Thankfully, because of you, I've actually been putting more attention to that channel.
oh yeah, I keep bugging you, or I just send you messages like, hey
No, no,
Normies,
you're
you
not
know.
bugging. You're not bugging, but it's a good reminder for me because it helps me out to keep that channel alive. Because I honestly I've been very busy with a lot of projects because from that podcasting came a lot of different things also. Like for me, it came photography came in and then videography came in. And it's just evolving and it's taking up a lot of my time and from the channel, which is I didn't intend that to happen, but you know,
That's great news.
yeah, yeah,
You have work
because
now.
yeah, people want to work with me, so
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a
and
blessing.
so for me that's a big that's something I didn't expect, you know. When I see my stories and I see people that I know, that I'm like, why are they looking at my stories? They're
Oh,
the ones with the talent.
oh, that's so humble of you. That's so sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm always like, and then just having people that I looked up to as a adolescent, like as far as rappers, as far as artists, like, following me and sending me messages and writing
Yeah.
comments. I'm like, you know, I'm
You made it,
okay being
Normies. You made it.
I, I'm okay being a nobody. For the
Oh,
and it's funny because somebody like a very podcaster with very high numbers that actually said that about me. To I think either today or yesterday said you're a nobody. You know what? I'm okay with that. I'd rather be a nobody because if being somebody means being like you guys, I'd rather stay a nobody
he
because
wanted to hurt
nobody.
your feelings on Normies.
I think he wanted to hurt my feelings, but that's the thing about me. I don't have enough of an ego to be hurt by those things. For me, I'm humble enough to say, you know what, I'm okay down here. I'm okay. I'm
Oh.
happy. I'm happy being down there because I don't have the amount of hate that you guys have, and I'm okay with that. If
Mm.
any, if anything,
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that encourage me and give me a lot of support and love, and it's something for me that's always, I'm even though it might seem I'm social, I'm very antisocial. I don't like crowds and I don't like being around too many people and just talking to people. For me,
Really?
yeah,
That's
I really like
interesting.
privacy. I really like my privacy, my and just the guy you see is the guy that, that wants to talk. But in my personal life, I just rather be private.
Oh, shy boy, Norbies. Shy boy.
Yeah, for the most part. That's why I feel bad too because I actually do get a lot of people writing me in my DMs, and it's very difficult for me to get to them because there are quite a lot of them, and I really don't know how to talk to everybody, and I feel bad because I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't reach out too much to everyone. To the people that I work with, I reach out the most, and even doing that is difficult for me.
Oh, snappers. So it's like completely out of your comfort zone, the work you're doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Like I could do it and I have fun doing it, but once I'm done, I put on the hoodie and I go away.
Okay, I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right, I gotta go.
Oh,
Time
snap.
to. Yeah.
That's interesting that that's very interesting because I would actually I would expect the opposite, right? Like you're like Mr. Outgoing, talking to everybody, handing out your card, taking pictures, and all that stuff.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, that's actually I do that.
Oh, okay.
I do that, but it just comes with the territory, I guess. It just comes with the that work to network and to talk to people. I have no problem doing that. You know, I always told it said on Tony's shows when he has me on, you know, I never want to be the guy in front of the camera. I always want to be the guy behind the camera. That was always my favorite part, being behind the camera and producing.
Oh, and that's what I said at the
I like
beginning of the show. Yeah, the man
yeah
behind the camera. Yeah.
until Tony's Tony had me a few times on with for one of his segments on Tony Vision, which was called "Drinking with the Wizard,"
Okay. Yeah,
and
I've seen that
that
one a couple of times.
you
Yeah.
seen that one? Okay, yeah. So for the most part, we got pretty tipsy on those, and it was fun. And I think he realized I didn't really have a problem talking in front
Or
of the camera
singing.
or being in front of yeah or singing. So he would ask me for the most part he would ask me on the shows to be part of it, and I'm like yeah sure no problem I could do it, it's fine. And after we stopped doing that show, one thing about me and Tony is that I would always bring up like news topics. Like we would always I would
Like
always
current
bring up like
events. Yeah.
yeah I would always bring up current events to him, like like hey, do you know about this happened, did you hear about this, did you hear about that? And we would always have good conversations, after the show or before the show, just talking about current events. And I guess one day he just got in and said, "You know what? Let's do a show about you and me just talking about this. Well, how we talk, anyways." I'm like, "Well, I guess if you want. I don't know if people are gonna like it." And they're like, "No, no, people like it. Just find some funny stories to add to it." And because for the most part, it would always be serious current events about what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after you told me that, I would find funny stories also to add to it.
And you would.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
You were the entertainment the whole time. Yeah.
yeah, and it's funny, the first show, it was the first News with Norby, it wasn't called News with Norby's, it was called I think it was called Conversations with the Wizard. Yeah, I think it
Okay.
was Conversation with the Wizard. I think it was that one.
I think so too. I
uh,
think yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
and that was the first News with Norby's. After that we he after that Marvelous came up with the name Norby's.
Oh, he did.
Yes, he did. And
So
then
Norby's was not even your nickname before you met
no, no,
Marvelous. Oh, that's
no.
interesting. Okay.
No, it was Marvelous. So
Oh.
once the whole crew started calling me that, Tony just said, "You know what? Let's just call it News with Norbies." And then
Oh.
I'm like, "Oh, okay."
And it was
So
born. Yeah.
and I was born. Yes, yes, and it was great. I got a lot of love from that. Apparently, people did enjoy me talking about the news and doing my little jokes here and there.
That's how I started falling in love with your persona, through
Ah,
that
thank
through
you.
yeah, no, of course, through that show. At the beginning it was a little like, oh, okay, this guy, what, who is he? Like, I thought he was in the, like you're saying, I thought he was a camera guy, but okay, but after a while you're like, oh yeah, no, he's pretty funny.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
tried.
No,
But
yeah.
so once we do, that thankfully that one was doing pretty well. It got pretty good numbers. I was happy with it, and I got a lot of good feedback out of that show. And for the most part, I do miss doing that show with Tony, and going back and forth. But yeah, it was cool doing that.
There's no going back to Tony for the news with Norby's thing anymore. That's completely out of the question. Or
Well, he gave me the show to keep put it on my platform. But for the most part, right now, I think Tony is only more focused on road and radio episodes,
oh, okay, okay. So
which is fine because, like I said, because afterwards, I've been very busy, just doing a lot of other stuff.
it worked out at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it worked out at the end of the day. I'm still doing shows. I'm still going to places, talking to people, and it's very great to meet so many people that they aspire to become somebody out there, and it's very motivating, and it just really doesn't let you want to stop working either, because you see people working so hard and you're like, man, I can't stop either because they're still working.
Yeah, that's crazy. Before the I'm gonna go back to the same topic. Before you started before you the pandemic hit, were
Yeah.
you into the camera stuff, or that completely just started when the pandemic hit, or were you already like savvy to the internet and things like that?
Well, I was already savvy to the internet, to computers. I fixed computers for like, I don't know, like 10 years prior to that.
Oh, okay.
So
So it was
I
your field, being
mostly
around the
Windows,
computers.
mostly Windows though. I didn't mess with any Apple stuff.
Oh, okay. So you
And
had to
then
learn Apple.
yeah, I actually ended up having to learn Apple, which is funny because I told myself so many years I'm never gonna use an Apple, and then I come to realize, man, they work so well when it comes to editing though.
Yeah, they I've only worked with them a couple of times, but yeah, they're very good.
Yeah, yeah, they are. So, but for the most part, I had pretty much my work with computers and then computer networking, and that's mostly something that I enjoy doing. And then the funny part is the cameras. I did also have to learn this. Just the way I learned how to use a Mac, I had to learn how to use a camera.
Wow. No, that
Yeah.
that you did a whole almost like a PhD there, with all that time there having to learn and stuff like that. I mean,
it took
technology and stuff.
Hey, it took a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of practicing to get to say, and I'm not even anywhere near where the people that I aspire to be like, or anywhere near where they are.
Oh, snappers, and you, wow, that's crazy.
I've met a lot of photographers that are like, wow, like LA Focus. He's a real cool guy. He's one of my friends right there, and that guy's been photographing for like more than 10 years. And then, I may meet people like Esteban Oreo, and then, I get to talk to him when I was with Tony. And
Cool.
those are cool opportunities to meet a lot of photographers that.
Definitely, yeah. So where were you born,
Yeah.
Orbis? To take us a different direction, and where were you born and where did you grow up?
General Hospital, born in East LA. And I grew up mostly as a child in Koreatown, and then East Hollywood, and all the way down to like Boyle Heights now.
Okay, so LA. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Are you the eldest? Are you the youngest in your family? Or if any of these questions make you uncomfortable, we can skip them, okay?
Well, I'll just say I have siblings.
You have siblings. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
I'll leave it there.
No, that's perfect. And what is I mean, this next question, what does family mean to you? Like overall, when you think of family, my show is very family oriented. I'm not sure if you really heard it's a lot of episodes, but I'm very like
Yeah.
family oriented and things like that. So that's a very important question for me to ask. What
Yes.
does family mean to you? To Norbies, what does family mean to you?
It means for me it means everything because without it, well, you don't exist. Nobody exists without their family. I mean, you could love them, hate them, but at the end of the day, without them, you wouldn't exist. You wouldn't exist to hate them. You wouldn't exist to love them.
Yeah.
And then, and it's important to keep it strong because well, I think I don't know if I we talked about this. If your family no longer has children, your
Mm,
entire lineage, your entire family history disappears from reality.
yeah. From the earth. Yeah,
And
definitely.
so I think about that, like, like that's why I always tell people have babies.
Oh,
Have
cute.
babies
Yeah.
because once, like, and I say once your family stops, I'm talking about like families that either they choose not to have kids, or they might be gay or lesbians, and they don't want to, they won't have kids because they're with the same sex.
Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah, at that point, unless you do some other stuff, right? Like
Yeah, but if they're gonna
scientific.
go
Yeah.
that far, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you might as well accept that, you're into the opposite sex. But for the most part, I mean, that's how important it is. It's very important because once everyone in the family is gone, there goes who's gonna talk about your family. where's all the that struggle throughout the generation, throughout the eons, you
Yeah.
know? Like for me, learning about my own background and my own roots, I come from a tribe that was once a big tribe in on this continent, but something happened a long time ago, way long time ago. I mean, before the Spanish came, and even before the Mexica came out of their caves. My ancestors were one of the oldest ones in this continent.
Can
So
you
for
name
me,
name can you name the tribe, Norbis, for the
Zapotec,
audience? Okay.
it's gonna be the Zapotec tribe. Uh,
So you're very
my
proud
tr-
of that. Yeah, go ahead.
yes, yes, I'm very proud of it because if the Olmecs were the I guess I don't know what they consider the Olmecs is the mother tribe,
Hmm. I
then
didn't
I
know.
would say the Zapotec would be the father tribe.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't, oh, okay.
And I say this because I strongly believe that the Olmec tribe lives next. Well, their tribe lives next to my tribe.
Oh, so you're putting your two and two together over there with that with what you know, kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. From
very
what I
cool.
know and from what I've seen, I mean, I think you know how the Olmecs head look like.
Yeah, I do with the rock statues and things like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the Olmec, the name Olmec is not even their name as their tribe's name, right? Like ours is not really Zapotec. That's just a name that the Spanish and the Mexica came up for us.
Mm.
We would from other people's historical records says that we would call ourselves Bene something like
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
which stands for people of the cloud.
Mm.
And the Olmec again, that they were also named, that wasn't their real name. And
Mhm.
I strongly do believe that the actual tribe's name is Mixe, spelled Mixe.
Mm.
And I say it because they're very intelligent. They're a very intelligent tribe, and I swear, if you go to their pueblos and you look at their faces, like at least a quarter of them look like those Olmec heads.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Like everything, nose, lips, face, completely them. I'd say, that's them. You look at them and you're like, no, that's them. 100%.
Wow, that makes me feel like it's almost like a magical moment to see them. That's crazy.
It was when I saw it, I was like, what the hell? When I saw their faces, I was like, how does nobody know? But then again, no, who's gonna know? They're a small, they're a somewhat small tribe in the mountains of Oaxaca that nobody's gonna go up there and check. It takes like 5 hours to drive up that mountain where our pueblos are at.
Wow. That
So not too many people go up there.
yeah, no, that's crazy. It almost give me goosebumps to like, wow, that the way you're making it sound is like, wow, like the beauty in it of seeing those people is almost like magical. Like like I just said, like wow, that's amazing. You made me think of it in a different way of
You
those
know what's
people.
interesting about them is that the even that tribe, the Mijes, they have their own story of where they came from. And funny, it's crazy because their story says that they actually came from Peru and
Really?
sailed to Oaxaca.
Really?
They don't know when or why they did that, but according to them, their own origin says that they're based off of Peru.
That's crazy.
It is, huh? I'm like, what the hell?
Yes. You know
But
what? Peru has been like in my radar for like some 3 months now, or maybe four. Like, I just keep seeing Peru. I mean, maybe this is just me just ranting to you right now, but
yeah,
I've been seeing Peru like almost like like those signs like oh
yeah.
7-Eleven, like all that stuff. I'm just like Peru everywhere. It's like what's up with Peru? But anyway, that's interesting. That's interesting to know. Like that's crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, it's I like I said, I'm a big lover of history. So for me, learning things that you wouldn't normally find in a book or nobody's really talking about, that those things are interesting to me.
Yeah, I was telling my a person that I was talking to, he's from Peru, And I was telling him, I was like, you know what? I've been doing a show with Norbies, and for whatever reason, one reason or another, Peru always seems to come up, and I made the emphasis to him because he's from Peru, and
Oh.
yeah, and I was like, that's just crazy. And today, look at right now again, you brought it up again, and it's like
I
that's freaking crazy.
know, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I one day I want to go there too. I want to go and check out those pyramids up there.
and me too. The Machu Picchu,
Yes, yes, Machu Picchu and those Nazca lines.
man, that'll be amazing.
That
So
would
what?
be right.
Yes, 100%, 100%. So, what is one story about your childhood, Norbies, that best explains the person that you are today? If you can think back and think of this one memory, you know what? This memory really changed who I am from a completely this person. I became this completely different person.
Actually, I actually forgot about that moment that eventually came back around.
Okay.
And because of, I guess, because teenager and life. But there was a moment where me and my family went to our pueblo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they had bought a camcorder, like these like really big camcorders from back in the day.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't let anybody touch it. I told my parents I got this, and I learned how to use it, and I used it, and I would just record everything.
Wow.
And I was just
You're
like,
like, don't
and I
touch.
was a kid. And
Yeah.
I was a kid. I was a kid just recording everything, and I was all up in people's faces too with it.
That's crazy. That's
I was
amazing.
like,
Yeah.
and then I totally forgot that I was like that. I was really into cameras. I was really in that, like, yeah, I was really into camcorders.
Oh my, and life brought you back around to that. That's
Yeah, it was
crazy.
a pandemic, bro. I came around to that to realize,
I mean, it could have
like,
brought you back to anything else, though. It could have been anything, but it brought you back to the same thing.
yeah, because of podcasting was just a way to, like, because I think because I was very like I was very intrigued with podcasting, but audio currently, audio was cool, but I wanted to really see these people too. I wanted to see who am I looking at and whose story is this. So for me the camera just came to my head thinking like I need to record these people and put them out there. And mind you, I wasn't even for the most part I wasn't even charging anybody. I just said, let me just do it because I just want to do it because I feel like like I don't know, I felt like it would be good for me, good for my soul, and it intrigued me. Doing something that I would do as a kid, but now I can make it look like nicer in a way.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That's awesome. So, what is your best childhood memory,
Uh,
if you have one?
it's gonna sound funny, but it was I do have brothers, and we lived in like when we were kids. It was this LA was very gang ridden, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were like dying all over LA around that time.
Yeah.
Gang gang wars, territory wars, all this stuff, drug wars. So we ended up like just being very not. We weren't like violent kids, but we a lot of other kids would like to enjoy like trying to pick on us,
Mm-hmm.
and we never went looking for any kind of trouble, but then trouble ended up always finding us.
Yeah.
So one memory was when like these neighborhood kids decided that they wanted to like really fight us, and me and my brothers were like, oh, okay, well let's all meet up back there and let's all get crazy. So we somehow some way we made makeshift weapons, and we really went at it with these kids.
Dang.
And but and I say it's a special moment because it was like a moment where like me and my brothers were like really close to like we were really close in the sense where like
Mm.
like why
Partners
were
in
we like
crime.
that?
Partners in crime, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, we're like why we're but thinking about it now, it like really made me think, why were we like that? And then I think about our past and on my history and my roots. I'm like, it makes sense that somehow that in a way it's not that we like violence, but we're more than willing to, use violence.
Yeah, to protect our
You-
territory, to protect
Yeah,
what's ours. Yeah.
yeah, or
Like
to
all
protect
animals.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in thinking about it now, it's like my ancestors would do that. The best battle that I know from my ancestors was when Cortez sent units to go and try to conquer us in
Mm.
Oaxaca. Well, my ancestors. And for the most part, they lost every battle against us, against my ancestors. So much that even Hernan Cortez wrote to the king of Spain to inform him that even though he conquered all of Mexico, there was one patch of land in Oaxaca that he was unable to conquer because of two tribes, one being mine and the other one being the Mijes.
Mm.
So I can ever since then, if I looking at my ancestors' history, I could see that we were always fighters, but we were fighters of injustice. We were fighters to protect. We didn't go off, to kill people, because if that were the case, knowing that we killed Cortez's troops, we could have just gone after him also, but we didn't.
Mm.
We just stayed up there in our mountain, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And mind you, we were up those mountains before Cortez even came.
Before they
Uh,
landed, yeah.
yeah, and we know that because a tribe called the Mixtecs was in the was living in our pyramids at the time when Cortez got there.
Mm.
And at the time, Cortez had already known that a lot of these pyramids had, jewelry, gold, gems, a lot of sort of all that stuff that for him was like, oh, that's money for me. So when Cortez got to Monte Alban, which is my ancestor, my tribe's pyramids, he had asked them like, where's all the stuff? Where's all the gold? Where's all the jewelry? We know you guys got this because we already ransacked a bunch of pyramids, so we know this place is packing. So that's when from some stories go, or the records, the Mystics explained to Cortez that the original tribe had left those pyramids hundreds of years ago and abandoned them. And
Mm.
that tribe they were talking about was my tribe that they were talking about. We had already abandoned it like hundreds of years ago.
So they wrote in the books about the people, about your people, pretty much.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what led the mystics led Cortez to us, to my ancestors, and which led to the battles that thankfully we won. But and
That's
then that's what I think that's why I think that that moment with my brothers made me more closer to identifying to my own roots.
okay. You kind of like processed it in that way, as like how it connected with your ancestors and things like that.
Yeah, because I question myself, like, why am I like this? Like I don't fit into the American culture society. I try to fit to the American culture society, capitalism and the American way. But and then I'm like, and
So,
then at a certain point, I said, you know what? No, there's got to be something else because I'm in a land where they hate me, where I don't know. Well, they hate my kind, and
so you've always felt like an outcast kind of thing?
yes,
Yeah, like a
yes, I
black
was.
sheep kind of thing? Hmm.
Yes, yes. I mean, even in religion, I felt like an outcast. Like, I grew up as a Catholic, and at a certain point, I stopped.
Do you believe in God at this point? Do you pray?
I do believe in God, and I do pray. It's just not the same like as being brought up as a Catholic. I don't use those names that they use for the
Yeah.
most part, but I do definitely believe in God. But the more I look into my own roots, I consider them because, like for instance, the tale creation from the Mexica, right?
Hmm.
It's the story of the five sons. I don't know. You're familiar with that story?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, it basically explains how the gods, had to go through several cycles to find the right balance to create life for
Mm,
humans. They
okay.
went through They went through four sons until they got to the fifth one.
Okay.
And for the most part, for me, that's more my. I guess you. I don't know. I wouldn't call it my religious belief, but I would just say my belief. And I say this because, my great grandmother told my dad the story about one of the sons. Now, I'm not talking about sons like kids. I'm talking about like an actual son,
Yeah,
son
like the
or
sun. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And she told my father the story of the time when the gods were so angry with mankind that God turned everyone to monkeys.
Oh, is that one of the stories? That's crazy.
That was one of the stories from the Mexica story.
Oh, snappers, really?
So and again, I like
So it's like
now.
backwards evolution. You know how they say that we started from monkeys, but it's actually backwards?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
that's crazy. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend you check out the story of the five sons, and for me, certain things like clues that tell me like, oh, well, you know what, my 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 roots really go way back as far as human history and just life in general.
You made me think about the Yaquis as well because where my family is from, they're from Sinaloa. So over
Yeah,
there, we're close to, well, Yaquis are the ones that were there, and the Yaquis were not, as far as I know, they were not conquered either.
yeah.
So that kind of like you reminded me of that when you said that about your people as well. So
Well, yeah, that's the thing. There was a lot of tribes that weren't conquered. They just, logically, understood. Okay, well, why do we need to fight? If they're not trying to fight us, we're not going to fight them. They're not taking our shit.
right.
The only places that they were going after were places with pyramids and gold in them, because they don't need land. They wanted the gold. They wanted the good stuff.
They wanted the physical things things that we don't really that our people didn't really care about like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a personal mantra, Norris? Now that we're talking about like religion, do you have a personal mantra or a favorite quote like that you go by or that you think about every day just to keep you maybe focused or something of that
I
sort?
I guess the main important thing as far as I don't know if you would call it mantra, but for me, there's the one thing I have learned and seen is that you know if you wanna if you want your soul to be okay and balanced, you should serve serve humanity, serve God's children. I mean, living a life of servitude, even though it might sound bad to other people, because a lot of people feel that, nobody should be serving. You should be making money.
It's
But
we had to learn how to be both. I tell my son all the time, like you can't be a leader until you learn how to be a follower, son. Because
yeah,
he's a little teenager and he does get like, with their little attitude or things like that. But I have to
yeah,
break it down to him like, I understand you think you're a little badass, but you're
yeah,
not ready yet because you first need to learn how to follow before you can learn how to lead. And right now you're not doing too good following, buddy.
yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, for the most part, I mean, if I always believe the best leaders are the ones that know how to serve the people.
Exactly.
And then And for me, I guess that you would say that was my own personal mantra, if you may. Serving is a very important part of my life, and I think, and I think it's just in us. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why us as people we can't be capitalists for the most part, because, like you said, we didn't when we had all that stuff, we didn't care about it.
Just for
We didn't care
decoration.
about.
It was just
Yeah, it was just part of nature. It was part of our paradise.
and decoration to decorate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but that because we spiritually evolved so much that we didn't care about those things until, the this world that these Europeans created here, you know, convinced us and made us grow up believing that these are the things that we need to be and that we need to strive for, even though they make it harder for us to get there. But for the most part, don't you shouldn't be thinking about your community. Think about yourself.
That's what they say, right? You before, yeah. And that's the hustle mentality, right? That the states has
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hustle, 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 everything, money, 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 money.
yeah. And as far as I know, as far as our, like you say, raza, the only times in history when I've seen them prosper is when they worked as a community, where they weren't trying to each one try to become this rich person and then help. No, they were just regular people that came together to help everyone. And then money just happened to come afterwards.
It's a byproduct. Yeah, it's a
It's a
byproduct.
byproduct.
It's a
Yeah.
byproduct. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I hear what you're saying with that. Definitely. So, do you meditate, and or what is your happy place? Do you meditate, or is that
I'm glad you asked that because, for the most part, most people, and this is what I think, most people, when I hear that they meditate, it's all about becoming one, right? It's all
yeah,
about harmonizing.
losing your ego? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, for me, meditation is actually quite the opposite. It's actually rising up your own energy, your own spirit,
Hmm.
not absorbing from out, but strengthening your in.
Hmm.
Like
Your inner
if you
world.
could, your inner world, because at the end of the day, if you're meditating to absorb the world, that means you're absorbing the world and what's out there. You're opening yourself up to whatever is around you in your environment.
Okay.
And I see that as more of a, like, you're opening the doors to yourself to things that might be out there, but you just can't see it, right?
Okay.
So I do it the opposite, where I focus on my own energy, my own spirit, to strengthen it, to make it brighter, to make it bigger. Because I'm sure you heard a lot of people that say they're empath, they can feel other people's emotions and they could feel that stuff, right?
Yeah, they can read your thoughts. They can do
Yeah.
everything. Yes.
The most part is like, you're absorbing it and you're letting it overtake you. And which in my opinion is probably not a good thing, because you don't know how to process it so it doesn't affect you. Because from what I hear, it affects them.
Yeah, a lot of people can build an ego out of spirituality, definitely.
Yeah,
I used to go
yeah,
to a yoga class, and like you're saying, meditation is more of a personal, internal thing. But a lot
yeah.
of people, they don't understand that. Maybe they're not mature enough or not conscious enough or aware enough to understand that, it's an internal thing. And a lot of them create that I'm a meditator. They make meditator, they make that their identity. They make that their ego, their what they are to the world. And now it's no longer holy. Now you're corrupting it by making this like your persona, your ego. So
Yes, yes.
yeah.
So for me, it's I don't want to absorb the world's energy. I want to push my own energy towards the world. So if I want to be in a room where there's a lot of, unhappy people or depressed people, I want to be able to push out a type of energy that's more happy,
Nice. Yeah. Healing energy. Yeah.
healing energy in the sense. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know what? Let's go with that. I'm more of a healing energy, where I work on me building an energy that's more positive,
Yeah.
and instead of absorbing energies from my environment,
You're just sharing yours and you want yours to
strengthening
be great.
myself.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
that's my method of that's what you would call meditation.
Have you had any spiritual experiences like out of body experiences or like lucid dreaming and things like that?
Only when I've taken shrooms.
Oh, okay, okay. And were they like have you had like a bad trip on shrooms or like has everything been good for you when you've been on?
Well, the one I thought was gonna be really bad ended up being extremely good.
Oh, okay. What did you learn during that trip or what happened?
It was it was very interesting.
I mean,
I went through a severe panic attack.
you did? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
You're almost died.
I,
Yeah.
my phone was unlocked, debating should I just call 911? Should I just do
To that
it?
level? Oh, snappers. Yeah.
The attack was pretty bad. But
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
and then I took something to relax me, to calm me down.
Yeah. That's why I'm very scared of like anything. The only thing I've done is weed. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, we did used to go to like those parties, like those tagging parties, and a party cruise and things like that. And
Yeah.
this, I'm not proud of this, okay? But we used to do like the NOS. I don't know, you ever the
Oh, yeah,
NOS with
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, 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 yeah.
balloons? Yeah, the NOS, and I ended up doing a couple of times as well the dusters, like the computer dusters. Like if
Yeah.
it was Chemo and shit. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Until one day I threw up on myself, and I stopped doing
Yeah.
that. But like harder than that, like that's pretty hard, right? But like
Yeah.
out of that realm, I have never like shrooms or like tweak. I'm just too scared of going on a trip and not coming back. You know what I mean? I'm very scared.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm very
No, I
scared.
totally understand that. I totally understand that. My first time with shrooms was very interesting. It actually makes you, if you were like super faded like a beer, it actually sobers you up,
Oh,
surprisingly.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
snappers.
I don't know why that is. Well, actually, no, I'm starting to know why that is because shrooms has a way of chemically making your brain reorganize itself.
I have heard of people microdosing, like you're saying, like to heal themselves, and it kind of sounds like that's kind of like what you're saying. Like there is like some kind of
No, it was funny though because for me, my first experience with it, I was super drunk. I was really like, man, I am proof. I was feeling really good at the time. I was like, and then somebody say, "Oh, let's do this," and I'm like,
shit.
"Okay, sure, why not? I've never done it before. Why not? Let's take a shot at it." And I did, and then we took it, and then mind you, it doesn't hit to like a half an hour later, right?
Oh, snappers, that's crazy.
So at that time, we were like, you know what? We ran out of drinks. Nothing's happening to it. Let's go get some drinks at the store. So when we go to the store, we get the drinks, and then as soon as I walk out the store and the and wind hits my face, boom, I'm sober. I'm like, hey, what the hell happened? This doesn't make any sense.
That's crazy.
I
From one
told,
moment to the next, that's crazy.
yeah, I told him, hey, what the hell happened? Like, I'm 100% sure I'm sober again. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what's going on? And then
Kind of
my friends were
trickery,
like,
kind of
they
witchcraft
were,
is
yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, I shouldn't be sober. Like, I thought I'm supposed to be like tripping out and stuff. And now that didn't come till afterwards, till later. Because
Mm.
once we got back to the spot, that's when, everything started to like move. I like, oh, okay, that's the part I was waiting for. But it tripped me out that it caused. And then I found out, through research that, it has a way that, like the chemicals that it produces, it reorganizes your brain.
That's
Like let's say
interesting.
when you're drunk, your thoughts are all scattered, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You're feeling good. You don't care about nothing
Yeah,
because everything's up in the air. You don't care anymore.
yeah.
When you
Woohoo!
take the shoe, it puts everything back in the same place. Blip, 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 and
Oh
you're
my
back to normal.
goodness.
You're like, what? Then I found out that that's what happened. Like it ended up just reorganizing all my stuff right back to the same mental state that I was before. I started drinking. I was like, damn. Oh,
Wow.
that was my first experience. But the last one, which was I haven't done it ever since, but that was the one that I was having. And mind you, I was doing it. I was doing it in a dark room, right? Everything pitch black
Oh my goodness.
because I had done some research that people that do it in a very dark environment, people were doing it in those fancy like containers with water.
Oh,
I don't know if you
okay.
ever heard of those, but
Yeah, like pods kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah, they would do that in the dark with a little bit of blue light. And I'm like, I'm not gonna pay to do that in that. I'm just gonna turn off all the lights. And so I did it, and then this huge panic attack. Like I was really about to call 911. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have them pick me up because I don't think I'm gonna come back for this one. So I took a few hits of my relaxer,
Yeah.
and then that's when I calmed down. My mind calmed down, and then I just warped into some tunnel in outer space. I don't know where. I ended up in a room, with, and there's a trippy part. And this one's a little bothersome. I ended up in a room where it was a checkered floor. It looked like a art museum,
Uh-huh.
and everything was checkered. The floor was checkered. The walls were checkered. And but the crazy part is that the walls were melting,
Uh-huh.
right? And there was only one picture in the center, and this was hilarious. There was only one frame, like a gold frame with an art piece in it. And this is the weird part. I never understood this part, but it was an ice cream cone with strawberry ice cream on it.
An ice cream cone with strawberries on it.
Yes. No, no, strawberry ice cream. It was well,
Strawberry.
it was pink. It was pink ice cream. I'm assuming it was strawberry because it was pink.
Right, right, right.
But it was there. And I saw that and then it was very confusing. Then from there I got jolted into another tunnel where I started seeing images of like my things from my childhood, like pieces of things. Like I
Uh-huh.
saw a cigarette ashtray that I saw from when I was a kid. And I
Wow.
never seen it. I'm like, why am I seeing that? That's so weird.
All those memories are buried. It kind of like tapped
But
into
that's the
that,
thing. It wasn't memory. It was just items
but they're
like
stored in your
random
memory.
that were just floating right through. Like, what the hell is that? Why is that there? I remember that. And mind you, I'm in like some, I don't know where I'm at. I'm somewhere seeing all these things getting transported
Mm.
to to the point where the end of the stop was me in this room with this big gigantic figure looking at a screen with some weird trackball controllers that I never seen. And I'm just and I say he was a giant because I was tiny compared the to that person.
Uh-huh.
And then when I looked at his screen to see what he was watching, I saw myself.
Really?
And then when I saw myself, I was like, he's watching me? That's crazy. Who the hell is this guy? And then I saw like a version of myself looking at me.
Dang, that's crazy.
I was like, what the hell? Why? Who is this guy that looks like me that's looking at a screen that's looking at my life?
Oh my goodness, that's
So,
pretty trippy. Yeah.
so that really made me trip. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, well, so you telling me that a higher plane version of ourselves is really just watching ourselves
Like a TV, like a
like a
show.
TV? Yeah, like a what if or like you know how would we live our life at this current timeline? That really made me
Wow.
think. I'm like wait a minute. So we're watching ourselves. Like, why aren't you helping us?
Right. Or maybe that giant is really your greater self and he's just waiting for you to become that. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, something. Yeah, definitely something like that. So it made me really like spiritually. It made me like trip out. Like is that the level that we're all trying to strive for to become that
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 giant, that G.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my goodness, that's pretty interesting.
it
Have,
was.
have you had any like paranormal activity experiences, like ghost stories? I mean, that's pretty paranormally, but I mean, like ghost things or like things like that happen to you?
Oh yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, me, I told a story on Tony's one of Tony's show where I saw ghosts with him, And that's how I know they're real because he saw the exact same thing I saw.
In his at his spot or?
No, no, when we were kids in our apartment.
Oh, you're talking about. I thought you were talking about Tony. Oh, okay. You saying you just said the story at Tony. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I said to Tony about me and my brother that that's how I know ghosts exist because he saw the exact same thing I saw.
You both did, so you know it's not
Yeah,
wasn't just you kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It
yeah. I
wasn't.
hear
Yeah.
you. What kind of ghost was it? Like a person or like?
Well, the first ghost that we saw was a little girl, and she was, and we knew she was a ghost. We heard her cry in our kitchen, so we went to go see. But it was weird because only me and my brother were able to hear her crying. No, but everybody else was asleep.
Are you guys twins or?
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
He's my older one, but we went to go see. We're like, who the hell is this little girl in here crying? There's no little girls here. Because it's all boys.
Uh huh.
So
Oh, okay, okay.
when we went to go see her, we saw this like translucent girl, like just crying. And we're like, what the hell? Like, why is she blue? Like
Wow.
literally, she's like a blue translucent
Oh,
girl.
snappers.
And then we try to calm her down and ask her like, why are you crying? And she didn't recall. I think she said that like somebody was coming after her, like somebody was trying to get her.
Oh.
And we're like, "Ooh, who's trying to cry?" And then she started crying more, and then she just disappeared. And we're like, "What the hell?"
Oh.
And that's when we were like, "What the heck? That was weird." So we started walking away. But once we started walking away, we had this really big round circular table in the kitchen,
Hmm.
and under it was pitch black. So you couldn't see nothing under it. And then when we started walking out, that's when we saw this big giant green hand coming out of it, like trying to grab me and my brother.
Really?
And we were like, oh shit. And we started running. But the trippy part was that we started running, but and then we weren't running.
Oh my gosh, that gave me goosebumps. That's crazy.
So yeah, it was a trip. We were
Time stopped.
yes, time stopped, but we could see each other and we could see each other's legs move. And but we were like, and then we tried to yell for our parents, but nothing came out. We just looked at each other like, what the hell's going on? Like we looked at each other, not being able to speak to each other, but we knew we were thinking the same thing. Like, what the hell's going on? We can't get out of this. Like, we're stuck, and this thing's coming at us.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then mind you, during that time, I was going to Sunday school, so I was really into like the church, into the Bible.
Wow.
So that was like one of those moments where I ended up like actually praying to God, like help us, that was when I remembered hearing the story like about about Jesus and saying him the story saying where Jesus said, "Well, if you accept me into your heart, you're good to go with God." And then I think I remember hearing myself say that, and then nothing was going on. Yeah. And then somehow I just say, you know what, God, please help us right now. I was begging God to help me and my brother. That was the only time where, and that's another spiritual moment where I saw two symbols in my head because I had my eyes closed because I'm like, I don't want to see this guy when it grabs us.
Uh-huh.
And that was the only time in my life I've ever seen the symbols for Alpha and Omega
Really?
in
Oh
my
my
mind.
gosh.
The weird part is that it was like it felt like it was asking me to choose one of them, like to
Really?
either choose Alpha or choose Omega. And I knew what they were. I didn't understand what they meant, but I knew what they were. I knew that then these are, from what I know, they're Greek symbols, but maybe there's something else. But but I knew one was the beginning, one and was the end, and I chose the Omega symbol and accepted that symbol. And then once
Wait.
I did that, everything me and my brother just like started running. Like it 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 stopped holding us, and we
Oh my
we we
goodness.
ran, and we were like, "What the hell happened?"
That's
That
crazy. You know what
that
they
was
say as
crazy.
well? You know what they say as well? Yeah, that's super crazy that you're saying that you guys were going to like Sunday school and stuff like that. What I've heard is that when we are developing or like it sounds like you guys may have been like very spiritually strong at that point for those negative forces to try to like come after you guys in a way, you know? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's what I kind of like. That's what I'm kind of like. Wow, that's crazy. You guys must have been very powerful for them to reach after you guys like that, or you know,
I have no idea, but I thought that was a trip. That was one encounter that
your
I
spiritual
had.
connection. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
strong.
but it made me realize that there's a lot of things out here that we can't see. I don't know how we were, it was funny because I told this other story with Tony that one time when I was a kid and we drove through a park called the Rolo Park. It's in Koreatown, and it was at night, and we for some reason we stopped. I think there was traffic or something, and we stopped in front of the park, and we could see the baseball field 'cause it was all lit up.
Mm,
And it was crazy because that was I saw this I forgot the name of that thing too. It was those things that looked like goat men.
mm.
They
Okay.
have the legs of a goat. They have the horns. I keep forgetting the name of that, what they call them.
Is it
But
like yeah, I'm trying to think of it too.
I saw that thing like messing with a dog there.
Like love or like sex?
No, no, like kicking it, messing it with its legs, and the
Oh,
dog's
okay.
barking at it. The dog was just barking. And I was fully awake, and I was like, "What the hell?
That's
What the
crazy.
hell is that thing?"
It's like one
You
of
know?
those guys. Did you ever see the movie Hercules? You know, his trainer.
Yeah, well, yeah, that guy,
One
that
of those
thing.
guys, right?
Yes, one of those guys. But like maybe I would say, judging from his height, it was probably like maybe three, three, 3 to 4 feet tall.
Mm. Yeah, it says satyr. It's half man, half goat.
Yeah. Is that what they're called?
I don't. It says Satyr. I'm not sure how to you pronounce that. Satyr
A,
or
sat- a,
sat.
s- a satyr,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, that's what it is. And then that those were the last ones that I remember as far as my childhood. And I did have one as an adult where I saw an actual ghost again. And that was in Glendale, in the city of Glendale.
And what kind of ghost was that, or how did that happen?
It was an old lady.
Mm.
Like I realized, like one way you end up seeing these entities is if you're in a somewhat in an emotional state.
Oh.
So I was walking near this store called Robinson's Brothers. They sell wedding rings or
Hmm.
engagement rings. And it was pretty late at night, and then I walked there and I knew it was a ghost because I already knew that ghosts are blue and translucent. And there it
Yeah.
is, and an old lady just looking at me all freaked out. Like she should be the one freaked out. I'm like, bro, you're a freaking ghost.
What about
Why
me?
are you look
Yeah.
why are you looking at me like I'm the one that's weird? But I'm pretty sure she was probably thinking it's weird that somebody can see her.
Right.
And then later on, I found out from a worker there that they have their own rumor in that jewelry store that is haunted by somebody because they go and hear somebody like run.
Oh my goodness, that's
I
crazy.
like I like damn that was a ghost. Damn it.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's I did at that point. I'm like, you know what? I need to be very very logical because if I put myself in a state in an emotional state, then I start seeing things I shouldn't be seeing. I think.
You open up the gates.
Open up the gates.
Oh, that's interesting to know. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like,
Do you have a well, let's switch gears right here, Tone. I mean, I was gonna say Norvis, let's switch gears. Do
yeah.
you have any hidden talents?
Hidden talents? Hmm. I don't know. I mean, I just talk a lot.
I guess that might be one that you can see ghosts, you know?
Yeah, okay, yeah. That would be one. Uh, I don't know. I like technology. I don't know why. Like you give me a gadget and I learn how to just use it by touching it and messing with it.
You're like into, oh, okay, okay, okay.
Like people will give me stuff and I'll figure out how to use it without looking at the instruction book.
Oh, okay.
And people
Hmm.
always say me, "How do you know how to do that?" I'm like, I have no idea.
I'm a geek. I'm a nerd.
I'm a geek. I don't know. I just like touching stuff and pushing buttons. I don't know.
Do you sing in the shower? If so, what songs?
Oldies.
You sing oldies in the shower? What's your favorite
Yeah.
song? What's your favorite oldie song?
Together by Tierra.
Oh, okay. Nice. So, where
Yeah.
did you learn to ride a bike? I'm just gonna go through some of these questions.
Where did I learn how to ride a bike? I want to say with probably want to say with my brothers. I think so one of them ended up getting a BMX bike and I ended up learning how to use that.
Oh, you started with the big boys, with the big kind of. Yeah. If money was no object, Norbies, what would you dedicate your life to?
uh Building infrastructure for my peoples.
Mm, okay. When you were a little kid, Norbies, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Hmm. Superman.
Superman?
And now I get it now more because of that new movie.
I
You
haven't
know,
seen that movie.
how they're saying he's representing an illegal alien that people don't like because he's not
Really?
from Earth, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of get it now. I just need his powers.
The last piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your biggest goal when it comes to? We know you're doing podcasting and things like that, but what is your biggest goal at this point? Is it just to continue doing podcasting, or what is it?
Now that's the $1 million question that I am currently dealing with myself as far as figuring out where it's all going. I'm putting it on cruise control right now,
Oh, okay,
just to see where it's leaning towards. Because
got it.
I'm not too certain as to which path I should be on. I'm just leaving it on cruise control, letting the wheel just go wherever it needs to go.
Yeah, I hear you. I was going through something similar not too long ago, and like the
Yeah,
podcasting, the music, and
yeah,
I came across this, I guess, piece of information, and it was pretty much saying that the thing to choose is the thing that brings you most excitement, most joy at the moment. So
yeah,
that for me, that kind of like made it more simple to
yeah,
decide, was what actually is this, or and it can vary, I guess, from moment to moment, but as long as you're doing the thing that excites you the most at that certain moment, that
definitely.
you should be on the right path.
Yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree. My only problem is that I like doing all these things that I'm doing,
Everything, yeah.
but they're all different. They're all similar and they're all different because they all involve a camera, and they all. But I think I think that's my thing. I just if I
Cameraman,
had,
yeah.
yeah, if I had to narrow it down, it was me showing the world what I see.
Nice, that's beautiful, that's like almost
Yeah.
poetic, yeah.
Thank you.
So which job that you have had has been your least favorite out of all the jobs you have had in your life?
Working at UCLA and in an office.
What was it? Why what was your least favorite? Why was it
Oh,
just?
it's just clerical stuff. Just
Oh,
clerical stuff. It's very boring. I'm like, mm. And it
okay.
was a little heartbreaking too because it was like the department that rejects people from getting like, scholarships and financial aid.
Oh, okay.
I like, damn, that sucks.
Sorry, denied.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I wasn't the one doing the denying, but I could see the, denied, denied, denied. I'm like, fuck.
Everybody's getting denied.
Yeah.
What has been one important but hard lesson life has taught you?
It's always, always, always better to not lie.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
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 Some people, I was just having a conversation not too long ago with with a friend, and we were talking about this previous experience that I had with this guy, right? And I was like,
Yeah,
that guy, he would always get upset that I would try to be honest, about everything.
yeah,
Or sometimes, he would tell me like, you know what? You're telling me too much, some things that guys shouldn't even know, and I told him, you know what? There's how can I really be sure that our connection is a real one if I have to hide things from you, or like I feel like I
yeah,
can't tell you certain things because you're gonna take it a different way, or maybe your ego is too fragile that you can't even really like face the truth of what the world really is like, because whatever truth I was telling that person at the moment, it was part of our collective human experience, like you can't,
yeah.
it's not something that, for you to get so surprised, it's something that happens to all of us at some point, whatever it was
No,
just,
you're right. No,
you know what
I
I mean?
totally get that. Yeah, I totally get that. I was talking to a girl too that you know, I was doing the exact same thing. I was being 100% honest. And the odd part about this girl is that I couldn't lie to her, even if I wanted to. Like I felt so comfortable just being open and honest.
Mm,
And it was odd. It was odd because I never met somebody that were like I just became an open book, you know. Like I told you, I'm a very private person. I don't like talking about myself too much and about my own personal life. But with this girl, like she didn't even have to try. Like I would just blab my mouth. It was weird. But this specific woman, she's very high frequency lady.
yeah,
If that makes sense.
yeah, 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 of course.
Spiritually, she's very strong.
Hmm.
And so I could tell that she was somebody that can, even if I try to lie to her, she would pick it up instantly and call me out on it.
Wow.
And that was an interesting experience because I never met a woman that was that spiritually. I don't know if she was spiritually strong, but it was enough for me to like not hold back. I could tell this person what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and not really feel afraid of expressing myself.
Yeah.
If anything, it kind of scared me that it scared me where I was like, is she doing witchcraft on me? Is she? Why does she have this kind of like a like energy where I can.
Power over you. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Kind
it's
of.
scary because I don't like anybody having power over me, but I thought it was crazy. I've never met a woman like her either, and then it's funny because this woman's a very private woman too. And then and then just anytime I would talk with her, it was always an open book with her, and and when with her own life too. You know, uh, unfortunately that didn't work out. So
Yeah, what happened? Because you were trying to tell me how that you had like a similar situation. You were trying to be honest, or like,
yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't know. You know,
oh, okay.
different situations, or I don't know. It's just maybe it's just not the right time, right place kind of thing. She always had this saying wherever, whatever was meant to be will always come around and come back.
That
I think
sounds
that's the
like
same.
that sounds like yes.
I think that's the same thing as saying, let a bird fly, and if it comes back to you, I'm like, except the opposite. If it leaves you, and it's really meant for you, it will eventually find its way back. It
I
was the opposite.
guess.
It's the opposite of letting it go. It's
I don't.
more of this person is gonna leave you, but if they come back, that's because it was meant.
I don't think I agree with that too much, but whatever,
I'm not gonna lie. That one kind of messes with my head too. I still to this day
It seems like a way
I
out.
I've been trying to like contemplate. No, she uses this line quite often for like a lot of things, and I'm like,
Well,
I don't know,
it could be
man.
a way out of a lot of things, you know what I mean? Because when you want a relationship, you don't want that shit to leave. You're trying to make it work as much as you can, even if you guys are fucking each other up, you're trying to make it work,
Right?
Yes, yes, yes. You're trying to make it work if you really want to.
But I've known this girl for like I want to say a couple of years now, and then her whole life is basically just focusing on herself, on her business, on her own spirituality, and
She's gay? She's lesbian, maybe?
no, 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 no. She's straight. She's straight. She likes
Oh.
dudes, but and I don't know. She, like I said, I never met somebody like her before, and I'm pretty sure I probably won't ever again, because that kind of person is like super rare. I mean, spiritually, I haven't met anybody that's as strong as her spirit that I've met.
What do you mean by strong spirit? You mean like mature or like she had like actual powers?
Like she has I wouldn't say extra powers, but I would say like she has, I don't know, her energy is I could feel her energy.
Oh, okay.
Like it's very strong, and I like to think, I like I said earlier, like I like to focus on my own energy and my own spirit to bring it higher, and be stronger with it.
Yeah.
So when I was around her, I could feel like her whole energy took over the room.
Oh, wow. That's
Uh,
beautiful.
and it's a
Yeah.
big room. It's a big ass room too. So for me to like feel that, I'm like, damn,
Nice. Yeah.
it's weird. But it didn't work out. So,
Oh, Norby's
well,
found love.
but who knows? Maybe like you said, if it was meant to be, it'll come back around.
Yeah. Yeah. If she doesn't find better options, she'll come back around. That's pretty much what she's saying.
There you
That's pretty
go,
much what
right?
she's saying. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry, Norby. I didn't mean to say that.
No, it's okay. It's all right. Don't be sorry. This is
It's
just
the same thing for
conversation.
guys. It's the same thing with guys. I mean, the majority of them anyway. But anyway. So, what is the best advice you can give to your kids about life, Norbis? Hopefully, this is not too personal. But if your kids came to you today and told you, Dad, give us the best advice you have, what would that be?
Build yourself. Build yourself. Build your foundation. Build the person that you want to become before anything else. Before love, before money, build yourself, because nobody ever told me that that's very, very important. It took me years to realize that I should love the things I do in life, as far as career, as far as journey, and somehow, some way, all these things come to you when you finally do that. Everybody I met throughout the last, I don't know, 4 years has been through what I've been loving to do.
Nice.
And had I known that a long time ago, I wonder where I would be, getting to know so many people, doing so much work, you know, that I have fun doing. So if there's advice I would tell kids, is to build your foundation, build yourself, love yourself. Don't think about procreating. Think about who you are. You need to be able to grow up knowing exactly who you are, what you love to do, because once you do that, everything will fall into place somehow, some way.
And that's great that you're saying that because today I was talking to right here at work. There's a cleaning lady, right? And
Yeah,
she only went to elementary school,
yeah,
and she's like lived her life basically like looking. I mean, I think you said you had a boy, right? But this is a lady,
yeah,
but she said that basically, well, she didn't say this is what I've been doing, but basically, when she speaks to me, her whole life has been about her finding a man to take care of, her needs,
yeah,
and just marrying, like old school
yeah.
stuff, right? But at this point, she's like almost like she's in her 60s. She can barely find work, and the guy she's with, she's like, she only got together with him because of the things that she can get out of it, right?
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing, it wasn't
Yeah,
really like for the right reasons. So she's
yeah,
getting into situations with people because she is unable to take care of herself. Like you're saying,
yeah,
she didn't take the time or whatever. Maybe life didn't allow it to happen, whatever it may have been. But she didn't have the opportunity to build her base and build herself as a person, and now she has to rely on like, I mean, nobody has to rely on anybody, but her experience is that she's relying on people to help her life be pushed forward.
Yeah.
So that made me really realize, like, wow, like, yes, that's a thing that women can do. Like, oh, you get together with a guy and he helps you and great. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it doesn't end up too well at the end of the day, because the reason is not the right one. And
Yeah.
it's very important, like you're saying, for the kids to have their education and everything, and especially for, I mean, for boys as well, but for women, the way I side with her is like, wow, like, women have gained a lot of liberation, and education is very important.
Yes.
It's just that's crazy too, when I see her, and I'm just like, wow, I'm happy that I'm able to, even if I'm not with a man, or I'm able to push myself and my kids forward,
Yes. Yes.
versus having to, like, oh, who's the next guy that I'm gonna have to get with so he can pay my bills, or like, dang, that's
Yeah.
that's that's sad. Like, I was like, damn, that's sad. I just couldn't imagine myself having to.
That'd be tough. That'd
Yeah,
be tough. I tell you
tough.
that much.
Yes, it sounds. I'm like, wow, that's education is very important, kids. Yes, definitely.
Definitely. Definitely. Learning how to make money is important.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah.
What is the funniest thing you have ever heard a child say?
Say they were pregnant in Spanish.
Oh, oh, that's
And
too
it's a
cute.
boy.
As a boy, that's too sweet. They did be saying some
Eh,
crazy shit.
I say that because when I was a kid, my mom told me that I was trying because my Spanish wasn't that good as a kid. So I would, instead of saying tengo pena, I would say te estoy embarazado. I don't know how I say a complicated word like that instead of saying tengo pena o vergüenza.
Yeah, embarazado is way more longer. That's funny.
Yeah, so yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was like. Why would I say a longer or more complicated word than than what I was actually trying to say? So that I said that as a kid, and my mother would always bring that up like every year. Remember when you were a kid, you say you were pregnant in Spanish? I was like, yeah, 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 I remember that.
she's probably trying to ask you, "Are you gay?"
I mean, mind you though,
Low key.
I want to say I was probably like 5 or 6 at the time.
Oh, that's too sweet.
Yeah.
If someone wrote a book about your life, Norvis, what would the title be and why?
Hmm. I guess it would be the title would be A Man Out of Place
Um,
because I really do feel that there's a big piece of myself missing.
mm,
And that's due to not knowing my own personal roots, my own ancestral roots. I said this before in like a Marvelous show that the one thing about my ancestors is that they, uh, in a sense, deleted everything that was our history, that was our story, that was our knowledge. They, they, they made it all disappear.
yeah,
So knowing that there was so much knowledge from the past, but for some reason my ancestors decided that we shouldn't keep any of it. I feel like a piece of me will never be complete because I don't have that knowledge
got
or
it.
history.
You're
I
missing
think that's
the
the
link.
only, yeah, that's one thing about myself as a whole person. I don't feel like a whole person because for the most part, I know I'm missing a lot of my own roots. And roots for me are very important to know, for people to know.
Got it. What legacy do you wish to leave behind, or what would be the message that you would like to leave behind whenever they think of Norbies? How would you like to be remembered by? I guess you can say that as well.
That that he tried to help. There you go.
Hey, that's a lot that a lot of people do. That's definitely a good one. So
Mhm.
that's great. I'm gonna start asking you just lining questions. Now, these lining questions are like quick questions.
Okay.
I think yeah, you should be familiar with this. So, what is your spirit animal?
Dragon.
Your favorite family recipe? The name of the dish.
F- Geez, that's a family dish. Damn, I'm stuck between two.
Say both of them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are they?
Okay, well, one would be caldo. Caldo with
¿De
be I
qué?
guess in
¿Caldo de qué?
the res, caldo de res,
Oh, okay.
and mole.
Oh yeah, I love mole too. El
Yeah.
caldo de res. Yeah.
Hmm.
Cold weather or hot weather?
Code.
Favorite word or thing to say?
Yo,
Favorite fruit?
cantaloupe.
Favorite genre of music?
Damn, I like a lot of music. So, if I had to say, I always end up going back to oldies.
Favorite comedian?
Mm, I
That's
would have
great.
to. I mean, the guy that made me laugh the most, I would always end up being Chappelle.
I love Chappelle too. I have his whole
Mhm.
like yeah, his seasons.
Yeah, right.
Favorite yeah, no, he's amazing. He's a genius.
Mhm.
Favorite decade of music?
90s.
Favorite color?
Green.
If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pizza.
Cats or dogs?
Dog.
If you could be any Street Fighter character, who would you be and why?
Damn, 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 damn.
There's no time limit.
That's
Okay, take your time.
that's a struggle because in the beginning of my life, it was always Ryu.
Okay.
But then when the more I got to know Ken, I kind of relate to Ken. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think I'm just gonna go with Ryu.
Okay. If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why? And what would you ask?
The the ancestor that decided
Mm,
to make everything disappear.
nice.
Why? Why?
Nice.
Definitely that. Yeah.
What song would you sing at karaoke night?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I got a few songs. One would actually be that the theater song together.
Hmm.
Uh, and then the other one would be "Come Fly with Me" by Frank Sinatra, and then
Wow.
third one would probably be "Bohemian Rhapsody" by Queen.
Wow. You have all different types of personalities there.
Yeah,
That's amazing. Yeah.
I
What
like
song?
karaoke.
When I make it to LA, we're gonna have to go karaoke.
Definitely.
So, what song will you never forget the lyrics to? Maybe it's the same one as karaoke, but
Ooh, no, 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 no. I want to say Juan Gabriel song. Desde Te Conocí.
oh, I love that. Juan Gabriel is one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too.
Dance, sing, or act. I mean, maybe this is a little bit out of your range or like ¿cómo se dice?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
out of comfort zone
There
or
you go.
I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, yeah. Out of your yeah.
Well, I never danced publicly.
Field. There we go. Out of your field.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, I never danced publicly except if I was at a club and then it's dark and everybody's dancing. So that's, but the one that I did do, I don't think I've ever done any acting as far as I can think. As far as I can think, but for the most part, singing. I did that at a bar in front of a bunch of people.
You did karaoke
Yeah,
night or like just
it was a karaoke night, and then there was a nothing but a bunch of people in Boyle Heights in a bar. Now I'm standing there and singing to everyone.
Nice.
I was pretty surprised I did that. I've never had never done that ever in my life, and it was a very cool experience because I actually sang the Tierra song together,
Uh-huh.
and it was very interesting because you know, when I sang it, and at a certain point, the crowd actually started singing with me.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so that had never. I was like, oh, okay, you guys are singing it too. Cool. Okay, let's all sing
Oh,
together. So, and it was cool because when I finished, some couple came up to me and told me that they really enjoyed me singing that song, and they told me I did a good job. I was like, oh, okay, well, thank you.
really? Wow.
Yeah.
Norbis can that's your hidden talent too, then
So,
probably. You can
so
sing.
oldies. I was saying, that every time I did it in Tony's show, I would just play around. I wasn't ever really trying to sing. I was just messing just to get people to laugh. But I never really
Yeah, it was
actually did it
horrible.
seriously. Yeah, it was. That was the intention because I wanted people to laugh. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and at the
yeah.
same time, I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to try and then get. And I was nervous. I didn't want to be like, I want to try, and then everybody shits on me.
It was
And
funny though because you were like horrible, but you had your smile on, so it kind of was like it was just funny, it was just funny at the end of the day. I was like, oh my
it
gosh,
was, it
yeah.
was. That and for the most part, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make people laugh, and then I'm happy to know that people were laughing because that was the intent.
I
I was
was laughing
supposed to be bad. I was supposed to be bad just for the fact to make people laugh.
because you kept your smirk on the whole time, and that's all. I was like, oh my gosh, you were having fun.
I was having fun. I was.
Oh, Norby, perfect. Well, this is pretty much like the end of the show.
All right.
So if you want to go ahead and give any shout outs and also your contact information for the listeners, go ahead, Norby.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, not too bad. We went almost 2 hours on this, so that's pretty cool.
We did, yeah.
Well, shout out to you, TC the G, for having me on.
Oh,
I always appreciate you, and I always appreciate it every time you come on platform and me and you have conversations. So everyone, go check us out there because me and her have great conversations every time. For the most part, shout outs to Tony A, to Marvelous, the Hip Hop Jedi, Alex, B Scanless, the whole crew that rocks with us, the whole audience, your audience, and everybody that's out there, not giving up, because this world is giving us enough reason to give up, but you guys are holding yourselves down, and if it reaches your ears, you got my love and support also. So for the most part, thank you to everyone that listens to this and that made it all the way here. I appreciate you for making it here. Congratulations.
No, it was great to get to know you, Norbies. Because like I told you at the beginning, it's a different feel because we just see you behind the camera or like just joking and things like that. But even when I was looking at my questions and when I was doing the intro, I was like, yeah, we don't really see that side of Norbies of who he is. And like you said, you're very private, so I guess that's probably part of it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. No, you managed to take out the most out of me that anybody has. So I thank you for that.
Oh, that's great.
And I owe that to your skills of talking to people.
Oh no, thank you. I tried. I tried.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to wrap it up here. So, thank you so much for tuning in to TC the G Radio. I hope you enjoyed this interview. Let us know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay in the loop. Remember to tune into TC the G Radio Wednesdays at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, connect with me on social media to get more of me and my music. My social media and contact information are on the video's description. Again, thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in and for allowing us to share this time with you. Take care. Saludos. Okay, Norvis, you're gonna kill
All
me,
right.
Norvis. You know why? Because the
What?
beginning of the show, the recording glitched. So we're gonna have to do the intro again, and you're gonna have to act like you're surprised again.
Oh no, go right ahead.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. I don't mind at all.
Okay, perfect, 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 perfect. Let me go back over here. So I'm gonna
All
do the
right.
intro again. And okay. One, two, three, here we go.